Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a quick and non-spoiler review of Superior Spider-Man #1, which just came out today at the time of this recording from Marvel Comics. This is supposed to be a new ongoing series, and I just want to preface this by saying that this is not at all a good jumping on point for new readers. Honestly, it's pretty much just a replacement that could have just been a continuation without relaunching, right, of Spider-Man, which was just, the companion series to the main Amazing Spider-Man title that Dan Slott started. It was his return to Spider-Man writing as, on writing duties with Mark Bagley on artwork. So we have that exact same creative team transferred over to this new series, except it's just involving a lot of past storylines that have had to do with Dr. Octopus as Spider-Man, which is the idea behind Superior Spider-Man in general, right? So they're kind of marketing this as this weird thing where it's part of like Superior Spider-Man's 10th anniversary, I guess. They came out that one shot called Superior Spider-Man Returns #1. So I'd say if you want to get into this as a new reader, you first have to read the entire Spider-Man series, which was like 11 issues, and the Superior Spider-Man Returns one shot. Spider-Boy is heavily involved in here. I'll show some interior artwork. So it's really just pretty much a complete continuation of what was already going on in Spider-Man. This new character, Spider-Boy, Bailey Briggs, right, is this sidekick who claims that he's known Spider-Man his whole life, but is actually part of like this forgotten timeline. So he has his new ongoing. He's already got his own series, but he's still a companion character to Peter Parker in this series. So basically, just the title of this, honestly, is driving up nostalgia, I guess, for old fans and stuff. But don't let it fool you if you're a new reader, because this is fully still just a Spider-Man comic. Doc Ock is his own villain self, like he has been for a long time. And a lot of this is just him trying to regain memories from his time as Spider-Man back when he was during the original Superior Spider-Man era, right? So it's heavily involving Peter Parker as Spider-Man. Normally, I don't think that's going to change. And, Spider-Boy especially taking on a really important role in this comic, even though you would not think that he'd be one of the main characters in this. And it also, of course, involves this new character that was introduced last month in the Superior Spider-Man Returns one-shot, where we got kind of a look back at this storyline that was never told in the original Superior Spider-Man series, where we saw that Doc Ock actually imprisoned like this coworker that tried to get a hold of some kind of power that he didn't think that she should have had a grasp on or whatever. So, she's like releasing her. He's remembering more about his time as Superior Spider-Man, but she's obviously going after Peter Parker instead of him, since he looks like he's the threat. I know this is probably really confusing for anyone who hasn't actually been reading Dan Slott Spider-Man stuff lately. It's definitely not new reader friendly, like I said, and honestly, I think that's my only problem with this. I did want to talk about like the artwork and writing in general. I thought it was really solid. This is a backup story that I'm showing the art for right now, that there actually was like a 10-pager in the back that I really enjoyed, which was telling another story from past Superior Spider-Man history, but from Spider-Boy's perspective, right? So Spider-Boy's always talking about this lost reality that he was a part of, where he knew Spider-Man his whole life. So this is like, what if Spider-Boy lived through the Superior Spider-Man era? So we see Doc Ock as Spider-Man being really mean to Spider-Boy and treating him a lot differently than Peter Parker would as his sidekick. I thought that was kind of an interesting idea. And then in the main story, I thought Mark Bagley's art was also really solid. And I thought he illustrated the scope of New York City. These big explosions happening, everything really well. It actually felt like there's some gravity to that, even though there's a lot of that trope of just, supervillains smashing down buildings and stuff. It felt kind of real in this issue. So I didn't get too far into like the actual plot of what this new series is going to be, but yeah, don't let the title fool you. Doc Ock is not Spider-Man in this first issue. It doesn't seem like he even is going to be for the rest of the series, but it is really involved in Superior Spider-Man history, so I guess that kind of earns it the title. I honestly just wish that Marvel had continued on the Spider-Man ongoing they already had going. They could have still marketed it as like some kind of return to Superior Spider-Man, but I feel like the relaunch is just really, really misleading. And like I said, if you want to actually be caught up and understand what's happening in this, you have to read Spider-Man and then also that one-shot Superior Spider-Man Returns they came out with last week. Hopefully this review makes sense to anyone who hasn't actually been reading this stuff. I know that was kind of a lot. For a score out of 10, though, for this issue as a standalone, even though I kind of disagree with them relaunching it, I'd give it like honestly a 8 or 9, maybe 7. I'm not sure, but I really enjoyed it. I think Dan Slott is a great writer. He has a really fun writing style, but he's also doing some really big things with long-lasting characters that I'm enjoying here. So I'll keep on reading that, especially having all the knowledge that I do. It's easier for me than a new reader, right? So that was my review of Superior Spider-Man #1. If you've already read the issue, let me know what you're thinking of it down in the comments section below. Whether you'll be sticking with it, and I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.